Hello and welcome to the Chill Stream. And we'll be mashing up some DC and Marvel. First up will be Azrael with Beast from the X-Men. And hello, Metal. I have no idea what. Oh, is that Gaelic for saying Happy St. Patty's Day? It's right around here my Uncle Donny's birthday is. I'm not sure exactly what day it is. I just remembered it's right around St. Patrick's Day. Or it might be on it. I don't know. Is St. Patrick's Day like the 17th of March or whatever every year? I'm not sure. I've never kept track of that, me fiends. Okay, so, yeah. That goes down there. Okay, so let me be sharing this out in all the usual places with all the usual people. And there's one. Time to share on the X, the Twitter. Okay, we'll leave. Grab that link. And we'll come over to Discord. Put it in the Discord. We should actually put it in some groups in Twitter too, but okay, there we go. Shared out to a whole bunch of places. Back in the on air chat. Let's bring up. I'm making taters for Patty's Day. Is St. Patty's Day today? Oh, let me. Oh, I can just look it up on Yahoo. When is St. Patty's Day? Saint, why do we drink? St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, why do we drink on March 17th? Okay, so it might be today. I think it's today. I never knew that. Okay. Okay, so lots. Now, you know what? I'm gonna probably change this. I'm gonna create a new one. Just because I want to do the orientation the other way, because I'm gonna use a beast pose. That's that was that's what my pre-scene message was. That's how you say it. St. Paddy's Day, everyone in Irish. Uh, isn't it Gaelic that they speak? I know that's what the Scottish used to speak. So I'm thinking that's what Irish would be too, because they're Celtic as well. Gaelic is the proto language. Irish is a specific Gaelic language. Oh, I did not know that there was a language called Irish. Okay. I guess now I knew. And you know what they say? No one's half the battle. There we go. Okay, that's the form. I think what we're gonna do. Okay, we'll start to use some of Beast's stuff here. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so on this one arm, I think we're gonna have Azrael's big gauntlet. And give him Azrael's sword, or whatever you want to call it, that's in this gauntlet that comes out, and that, you know, can get on fire. I think also we'll give him Azrael's shoulder pads, I guess is what you'd want to call them. Okay. I guess we'll give him Azrael's bigger belt. Okay, so you know what? I think we're going to do is he's gonna have Azrael or Beast feet, big feet, and we're gonna be able to see them. And you know what? We're gonna have the big hands too. And you know what? The gauntlets are just gonna cover the hands. So okay, we're gonna have to get that a little bit better. Uh, and guess we'll do the circle with the bat in it. You know what? We gotta come up with the bat X symbol. Maybe what we can do is bat with an X in it. We're gonna have to put that. That would put that on all the Bat family, Bat X family characters. Azrael doesn't really have any boots. I just noticed that. Well, that aren't attached to his quote unquote regular costume. So, because he's wanting to really add in that sort of feature from. Okay, so we want the gauntlet on here as well. There's where the sword will come out of, and Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with part of Beast's head anyways. We're gonna give him Beast's hair. And ears. Okay. Oh, see what we can. There we go. We'll put that. This is mask over, and then we will. Now, I know Azrael has a cape, and I was thinking of including it. This looks like it's going to end up just being. Once I think we get the colors in there, it'll probably be different, but if we can include colors. Okay, so let's grab both of these and bring them down a little bit, or a lot. And then we'll add another layer. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. To make this look a lot better. So are your taters cooked yet, or metal? Are you here? Okay, so now we want to try and get. Okay, so hey, if it's Chozo, how are you? What are you drawing today? Well, I am starting with drawing a combination of Azrael from Batman with Beast. I've gotten my core look down. Now I'm going in and making it look a little better. Maybe I'll go over it again after that. I don't know. And of course, by Azrael, of course, I'm talking about the guy that took over for Batman. And I'm drawing using the outfit that he had, or one of the outfits that he had before he took over for Batman as my core thing for him. Although I did look up, get a couple other ones that I was thinking of possibly taking influence from, but I wasn't sure. Uh, is the Island of Misfit Toys concept copyrighted? Hey, Tim. Nicerine? Not Nicerine. This is uh, Beast from the X-Men, who has similar hair to Wolverine, which is probably what's confusing you. Combined with Azrael from Batman. I'm not sure whether it's copyrighted. Now let's go. Is the Island of Misfit Toys public domain? The residents of the this says public domain super under public domain superheroes misfit toys. The residents of the island of misfit toys are sentient toys who all have some strange quirk about them. Because of said quirks, these toys feel that no human child who could possibly want them to play with them as King whatever brings them to stay on. The island is on the island until suitable owners can be found. Santa's ninth reindeer. I like how they don't want to say Rudolph. Hermie and Yukon Cornelius first encounter the toys. Da 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 da. Okay, public domain television appearances. Okay, so the toys themselves, it seems like, are things. So you might have to just give them, you could call it the land of misfit toys or something like that. I think Fitzchosa. And to call, if you're trying to call Wolverine Nicerine because of me doing him in Canada, me be Canadian and doing him, you do have to remember he is Canadian to begin with. And Wolverine isn't always nice. Jim. Yeah, but he looks like a less moody version of himself. Schnick, schnick. Well, this isn't Wolverine. This is Beast. This shows us, yes, both Wolverine and Deadpool are canonically from Canada. Oh, yeah. Although Deadpool does a lot of killing, he doesn't quite have the nasty attitude like Wolverine. He's really happy go lucky. Well, he's killing. Only when he killed the Marvel Universe. Okay, so well, I was gonna make the hands here visible, but I don't think I'm going to. Oh, and Tim, what happened last week? You missed whatchamacallit? The thing. The silhouette game. Fitzjoseph was there and he widened the gap between you two again. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new thing here. Because although this is the symbol I'm gonna end up wanting to use for the Bat X family. Okay. I want to thicken that up. But we did manga 90s manga characters. I'm not sure what you would have did on that. But this week we're doing hero teams. So DC, Marvel, TV, cartoons, well, cartoons, comic books, all mediums. Control A, Control C, Control V. Keep aspect ratio. No, and okay, there we go. Let's transforms aspect ratio. Okay, so what I think we're going to do is add another layer here. And this. Hey, Alpha! Happy St. Patrick's Day to you too. And there's only one P. Well, I shouldn't say there's only two P's in Piper. Piper. Did you know Brew? Okay, I'm gonna. Actually, I don't think my family is from Ireland. I think my family came from England, but I think Piper is actually supposed to be German. Although you would think it's supposed to be Scottish. And having looked up some of the thing. See, that's what I call you, bro. Okay, so now let's go here. Really, why are Germans playing bagpipes? Actually, I think they originated there, but don't know where my family's from. My ancestors were slaves. Oh, sorry to hear that, Fitzchosa. Okay, so actually, you know what? I think what I'm gonna do is actually, you know what? I'm gonna go back and redo that. Why are you sorry to hear that? It's that the story of every black person. I won't say it's every black person in America. A lot of black people have come over since the days of slavery, and a lot of black people weren't slaves too in America. Now, if we take that and just, like that your ancestors were slaves, it's just, heck, that's what I'm afraid. It's not nice that, you know, ancestors were slaves. So, because I know that there's some, heck, the first black person to be a slave was by another black person. But then again, slavery has been all around the world. I won't say since the beginning of time, but, since quite some time. Alpha says, I get curious about my family, but I can't research very far. I would do a DNA test, but I don't want the government to have my DNA. Well, one thing that could help you with that, I know I did a little bit of research through, not Ancestry, My Heritage. Um, and I got back like, yeah, on some sides of my family, like my grandmothers on both sides, I got back like 8 generations. Yeah, the first white person to be a slave was to another white person. Yeah, that's true too, Fitzjoseph. Okay, so I'm gonna take that. Okay, so I'm trying to see. Uh, Alpha says my family on my mother's side is very big. They can trace history back. On my father's side, it's like my grandfather just dropped into existence. There, I can't say for sure, but there, a lot of stuff like that is on something like My Heritage, which I have done for my family. I did it a few years back. I'd like to get back on it, pay for membership for another year or two. It's a little expensive, so that's why I haven't done it again. Okay, so now I want to do that. That's, is My Heritage a DNA testing site? No. Here, I'll bring it up. It's been a while since I log in. I think you can get a DNA testing through it. Let's see. I can't really see what you're saying at the moment. Okay, that's wacky. Uh, uh I'm not sure about off, but definitely on. Let's see, browser. Okay, I'm gonna bring this over here so I can actually see what you're saying. Switch that to live chat. So here it is. Yeah, they do have it. Uh, family tree. Now I've got to clear out some of this stuff because I have got some stuff wrong, but I like the fan version here. Can we zoom out? Where is so yeah. I think I will sign up to and see how much I can get info I can get for free. Yeah, it says how much you can get on your family tree, how many people you can add for basic. Let's see. Uh, purchase count settings. Because at one point I did sign up, so I was able to uh, get discoveries, manage trees. I got 1,034 individuals on mine. Uh, families, surnames. Like I said, some of it needs to be changed. And every so often they give you some stuff free. Or not free, but a sale and give it to you for about half off. DNA matches, research, photos. Let's see. Premium. Normally it's 300, well, 49 Canadian. No, I'm not sure how much that would be. Let's see. US dollars. 225 US dollars. Uh, Different for, well, that's 109. Uh, 239. I'm not sure how much it is for free, but yeah, so there's my okay, let's yeah. You can't see anything at that. Yeah, they. Hey, are you using some sort of voice modulator there, Alpha? Oh, well, that was a good. Oh, that was good. Are you draw? Are you drawing something? Okay. Just because it's not showing anything. Loading, 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 loading. Could be my end. Because, yeah, I have some drop frames, so tonight. Failed to start. Okay, well. Oh, no. Okay. Ah, yeah, well, I still got a bunch of stuff to do on thing, but yeah, the more I can get, the better. I'm not going to be coloring this Saturday because I'm going to a convention. And I might be able to. Yeah, but the convention that I'm just going as an attendee. But the next day, I'm actually going. Ashcan, guess what? That's what I'm planning to do. Oh, that's good. Well, that figures. Yeah, well, hopefully they'll still take them home and show their friends. Okay, here, that out there. No, we'll leave that in. That in. I am designing the Bat X symbol, the X Batman or whatever. I'm not sure what you'd call them. My combination of X-Men and Bat. My Bat family and X-Men. So I created a whatchamacallit for them. A symbol. What do you think? Trying to combine the Batman symbol and the X-Men symbol? Should all you should have to do is click me. And you don't see me in Discord? My camera? You don't see everybody. Well, not that there's a. Yeah, family symbol or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the coloring for it's going to be yet, but just because, I've done a whole bunch of these Batman X-Men family characters and I had no idea what the symbol was going to be, so I just started doing. Well, some sometimes Batman the X-Men do yellow and black or yellow and blue. Yeah. Didn't you well, from the animated series it was yellow and black. Cyclops for sure. Uh, yeah, well, I'm thinking, yeah, Beast. Yeah. Let's see. No, I did Cyclops recently. Cyclops with Nightwing. Cywing. Did I not put? I thought I had. What color was Marvel Girls? Marvel, well, old style Marvel Girl had it yellow and black. Just a, yeah. It's like, yeah. I had a Nightwing uh, Cyclops. Hey, Mike. Well, but anyways, I wasn't really talking about the colors. I was just talking about the design of the emblem because X-Men have an X, right? And Batman has a bat, right? Most of the Bat family has a bat or something like a bat on most of their costume. And most of the X-Men have the X, the bat, somewhere on their costume. Eh, well, actually, his first appearance. No, I was gonna say it was Brown, but yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Just trying to figure this out. Draw. I don't know. Okay, there we go. For that. This down. Take that out. That out. That out. That out. There. There. Do do do. There we go. There, finally. So, there we go, finally. Discord. Oh, it looks like you got the full first panel done. Oh, yeah, you showed me it. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but it'd be nice if you got another 2 or 3 pages done this month too. But I get that you got to get your animation work done first. That's your main job. Well, it depends on what's, I think, involved in the panel and all that, because some panels are a lot more detailed than others, so, it's an average, thing. And then, it depends on how much time you spend on it or whatever, too. And, or how much time you have to spend on it in one sitting or whatever. But you know what? I think once, in some ways, I think once you get going on um stuff that's more, not that this isn't your idea, but once you get going with a little bit more stuff around what is your ideas exactly for the stuff, it might actually go a little faster because you're doing with what you're envisioning in your head, buying it instead of trying to go with what somebody else, you're trying to get into somebody else's head and what they were envisioning for the drawing. That's why, if you didn't use Dillard's stuff, that was all right because the script's still the same and it would look, I'll say, similar. But, yeah, and, I like that. Yeah, how I discovered my what you call it, uh what my heritage one a few years ago was I was trying to find the address of my aunt's house down east because it's where I want Insecto to live. So I was trying to have an idea of what and see whether the whether anything on the property was still there from what I remember or what my mom remembered. But I didn't find the address or anything, so it's like, all right, so well. Hey, Fitzchozo. I don't really celebrate it either, but oh, happy day. Let's see. Who made him a the he was yeah, well, how he became the saint is whatever he did something and the Catholic Church said, "Hey, we're going to make you a saint." But most likely after he was dead. So, didn't really matter. And if he was a Christian, he was already a saint, so that is. Anyways, here it says, I looked it up on Wikipedia, for as much as you can trust Wikipedia. St. Patrick was a 5th century Romano British Christian missionary and bishop in Ireland, known as the Apostle of Ireland. He is the primary patron saint of Ireland. The other patron saints being uh, Brigadier of Kildare and Cumbia. He is also the patron saint of Nigeria. Patrick is venerated as a saint in the Catholic Church, the Lutheran Church, the Church of Ireland, part of the Anglican Church, and in Eastern Orthodox, where he is regarded as equal to the apostles and the enlightener of Ireland. Yeah, well, guess what? Nobody that and I'll say Christian, well, not Christian, a Canada one. Well, I won't even say, I won't say holiday. Nobody gets off work. Yeah, and it's not. It's a lot different than used to be. Nowadays, it's just most people go out and get drunk on it. It's a day to party. You know, yes, and yeah, and you sort of celebrate, Ireland with it. A lot of green. You see a lot of leprechaun stuff. So yeah. October the 5th is uh, you might be thinking more of the Highland Games for Scotland. The Highland Games are Scottish, not Oktoberfest. Although so yeah, like I don't really celebrate St. Patty's Day. As a kid, everybody said just happy St. Patty's Day. You dress up in green and all that, and you just have a little bit of fun. Well, I don't drink, but as a kid, and especially as a kid, you wouldn't drink either. So, um, uh, I never, I never really saw any of my relatives get. Yeah, it sounds like something I would do. But yeah, I know that's what happens. Like, but I didn't even see a lot of my family doing the drinking and all that. But it's what I know what happens a lot. Oh, we got somebody else in here, Raul, maybe. Hey, Tim. Hey, Tim. Everybody can be Irish. Everybody can be Irish on St. Patty's Day, you know. Hopefully. I'm always I'm always rich because I'm Richard. Well, our 20s happen to be well. Your 20s are green too. I was gonna say our 20s are green. We do have $100 bills, you know. Hey, well, part of it, because yeah, yes, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But Fitzchozo there is doing um Snowdrift too. Go ahead. Well, that's good. Well, that's good. Uh, Fitzchozo there is doing page 4 of Snowdrift 2. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Alpha. I did, I did, I did it again. You can't hear me. Apparently not. Oh, I know who I'm talking. I know who I'm talking to. I just don't know who I'm talking about. Or did I mute myself? Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? Can anybody else hear me? Hello, hello. Well, you're hearing everybody else. It's weird. Can you hear me, Fitz? I mean, can you hear me, Alpha? I don't get. Well, I've mixed them up with several people. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. You could call it the land of misfit toys, and the thing is, all you have to do, you don't, you can, you just create a Western doll. You know, you create a space doll. Piggyback, Mr. Potato Head. All that sort of thing. Well, you could create just like a generic action figure, army soldier action figure. That would be GI Joe. You create some sort of wannabe transformer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, all you'd have to do is call it the land of misfit toys, and you could have the same ones as them or just completely different ones. Something more to. Yeah, Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it was more than that too. Like you know, I went. I'm not sure whether I saw it in I'm not sure whether I saw it in theaters or afterwards. I forget. But it wasn't too bad of a movie. I liked it. Yeah. The Incredibles. You didn't think The Incredibles would interest anybody? Well, anybody that's into superheroes, I'm sure there's a lot of girls that wouldn't be interested in, and even some guys, and even some guys wouldn't be interested at that age. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, yeah. And then like yeah. And then for turning around, it was more a movie for girls. I'll admit that. But so that's probably why it didn't interest you, Fitzjoseph. Yeah. Yeah, I want to go see that. I'm probably going to go see that tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Because he went a bit psychotic. Because he went a bit psychotic. The one with the Riddler in recently. Yeah, it was Batman firing the. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was all right. It wasn't. It was all right. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. No. Yeah, well, it's unfortunately what they do. They reinvent all this stuff just to reinvent it. Yeah, well, what's the Riddler been in for live action? The Batman 8. Yeah, well, that's my point. Yeah. Oh yeah, Gotham. I was gonna, and of course, the Adam West Batman too. He was in the. Yeah, Well, it was the comics. It was a bunch of things. It was just the age too. You know, a lot of things were goofy in the 50s and 60s. Yeah. Well, actually, it was his family that did it because both the actual creators were actually dead by the time they sued, and they were just. Well, actually, he was not rich to begin with because Lex was a mad scientist at first in the comics. Yeah. It was good in some ways, bad in others. It made people think on, their feet how to get around it or whatever. But it was a lot of their ideas were limiting, to say it nicely, in a stupid way. No, you don't have to. I have designed, I gave you those pictures for, the basics, for the layout. But I haven't designed everything in it, so, yeah, that's probably what's going to go there anyways. It'd just be a wall, so. Only 50 minutes? Yeah. There's safe space. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, Martin Luther and all that fought to get rid of that. Now there's blacks fighting to bring it back. Or Martin Luther King, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. Yeah. He fights to get rid of the segregation, and now blacks are. Yeah, I know. I got no problems with getting a little political at times. Uh, Metal says, had my taters. This was a good day. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, you should have came to Canada. We have a lots of the potatoes. I have a whole place that produces them called PEI, Prince Edward Island. Okay. Uh, the medal says, Rick, we have multiple states that produce potatoes. There's even a breed of potatoes named after Idaho. Uh, so, so in other words, they could, it could even be from the Invincible universe because those guys are. It's not as bad as the boys, but yeah. 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 Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, everybody, it's his ultimately, if he does it, which doesn't sound like he's going to, it would be his. It would be up to him how he does it. That's part of the execution that we're talking about. It could be good or could be bad. It's again even that. Yeah, let's yeah. Well, yeah. Or they might. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Let's hope so. Being your son. uh, but 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 uh, hey, hey, if he's giving you permission to run with it, then run with it. Or 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 Tim can take it. Tim would love to do that. Is Tim still here? Yeah. Well, in some ways, that's probably it. Might be a good thing for you, Fitz, scrapping it because it's something that you've put to rest of one of these ideas that you're wanting to kill these different archons. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm just saying it's probably a good thing that he's gotten over that and no need to bring it up in his mind again. While doing the project. Yeah, and that's oh nobody's saying it. Nobody's saying anything at the moment. The last thing that was said was by metal, and that was the potato thing. After I said about PEI, after Well, that sounds like it could be interesting. Oh, that's. I think that's a good. I think that's a good thing, Fitzchozo. To focus on some better reasoning for your superheroes and for creating them and all that. Metal says the quietness of this stream in the chat is the preference. To whom? Yeah, I can see that. Here, are you laughing there, Fitzchozo? Yeah, well, yeah. Well, we don't have to go into all those details. But and I think that's a good thing, Fitzchozo. It's I think it's shows a little bit of maturity by not wanting to go there, you know. Especially, thinking on better things. Like uh, yeah. Well, Fitzchozo, I know you can't afford an artist at the moment because you're not working. But what I would suggest in the meantime is, start drawing up the best you can. That way you can give a concept whenever can afford it to somebody, and then you can, at least show people out here what, the concept, the idea, they can get an idea, and you might get somebody interested in wanting to, work with you on it. Yeah, yeah, that sounds good for sure. Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, well, the thing is, you you don't have a big following there, like, so maybe the people that are following you aren't the people that are the people for that thing, like, I wouldn't say nobody, but it's the thing. Again, it's a way to proof of concept, you know. But like I said, you well, maybe for I'm not gonna promise anything, but maybe for next stream I'll do that and show them off, see what people here think. Not offhand. Okay. Secret agent man, giving you a number and taking away your name. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have. I remember you showing him to me. I, I, yeah. Like, when I started doing, this stuff here too, like, I didn't really have any money, and I wasn't the best artist. Anybody here can tell you, especially Metal in the chat. He was around when I was started doing this channel, and but I did what I could, and and then, hey, John liked what I was doing, John Dillard, came along, and he backed up. He helped me, improve what I had. You know. Well, I wouldn't say that they don't think 3D art requires effort, but a lot of people see it well, more the AI, but see a lot of it. I was gonna say cheating or whatever, probably along the same. And I'm not saying it is. Yeah, and yeah, but as for, you get, yeah, it's harder than a lot of people think. I will give say that, and it is a yeah, but I hate to say it. The AI stuff isn't art stuff isn't that easy. Yeah, you got to put it in the prompt, but you actually have to figure out how to put in that prompt correctly to get what you want, and that can be hard. I've just the little bit that I've worked with it, just trying to make the little small videos that I've made, and it's AI is stupid to say it nicely. Yeah. And I think they know well, they don't know exactly how hard it is, but I think they know a little bit because you have these movies by Pixar and all that that takes years to make because of it, Heck, it seems to take longer to make those movies than it does a regular 2D animation, although, you know. Yeah, well, that there's a thing too for a lot of these show these things. If you're doing a sequel, you have the CG there that you can the mo so so that make so that can make a sequel or whatever cheaper. So Metal Metal says, "Nah, just ask the AI for a better prompt for the other AI. Problem solved." Uh, well, here's my Beast Azrael combination, and it looks more like Beast than it does anything with. Well, it's more the gauntlets. Give him the cape, you think? Hey, Raul. Yeah, I was debating on whether to give him the cape, but I don't think it's gonna do much. Because I did another character. Yeah, well, bracelets, gauntlets. He has the shoulder pads too, although I gave them a different color. He has part of the mask on, and he has the red pants that Azrael has. But unfortunately, with the beast face, it just ends up looking more like Beast than anything. And I think no matter what I do, that's what's gonna happen. It's just gonna look like Beast with a cape. his he's throwing snow, yeah, Snowdrift 2. He's on page 4. And I think he's drawing panel 4 at the moment. Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah. But I must say, it doesn't look bad for Beast, even if it doesn't look too much like Azrael. I gotta probably you're I was trying to figure out more stuff that I could put in for Azrael, but I might have to put some more stuff in for. Oh, I have no idea. I don't know. No, he was created originally by the Order of Saint Dumas, which is some sort of cult. Yeah, yeah, but Azrael, they had a comic for him beforehand called The Sword of Azrael. So they had introduced him a little bit before then, and you know they he was created by, or sort of created by, this order called Saint Dumas. In fact, he was a long line in these people that were um supposed to be the avenging angel protector for them. Like his dad before him was an Azrael or whatever, and all that. So I wouldn't say he's the same as John Walker. Yeah, in that sense, yeah, yeah. In that sense, yeah, they might be similar, but as for origin story and all that beforehand, and Bruce asked him to be it because he didn't want to, you know, interfere with Dick's life. Didn't think Dick would want to do it. Raul, I think, is saying the cape, telling me to put the cape on. But the real question is, what should this character be called? The Avenging Beast? The Beast of Saint Dumas? The Avenging Beast? Yeah, I think it's something possibly made up for Batman. I can't. I don't know. I named it. Let's see. Let's see. Goodness. Yeah, yeah. I think he got one out. I own that. He did get two out, and I think he's supposed to be getting three out. I'm not sure when. It's He had a stroke a few months back. Yeah, same for the most part. So my actually, I think I only know about the his stroke because of um the alpha. Yeah. Well, a lot of the wokeness was coming into the comics. I'd say more than the degeneracy. Yeah. Well, sleeping with aliens. He was known as the Merc with a mouth. Well, I guess the thing is, how are you defining degenerate? And I guess I'll go with alpha first to define it. Uh, uh, Yeah. Metal said St. Patty is greater than St. Dumas, and then he said everybody can celebrate St. Patty's Day by reading about a different Irish Patty in the bodacious bikini battle babes of Britatis Bay, ex Dynamis Chaos. And he's got a link for that. And I know I butchered that name of the bay in Ireland. And of course, that's who I drew last week here on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess in a sense, what the denomination or that you want to put him in of Christianity, whether you want him like Baptist, Pentecostal, Independent, Catholic, Anglican. Yeah. Yeah. I you could probably have him in Scotland and not have him going to any particular to any religion particular. You might do Anglican because that is supposed to be the Church of England over there. He could be a part of that or could not. It's hard to say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And maybe he follows more of his Celtic roots, like so. Uh, yeah, yeah. No. Yeah. Metal says Scots are widely Presbyterian, the Church of Scotland. Okay, well, I did not know that necessarily. I've obviously heard of Presbyterians. My grandparents on my mom's side actually did go to a Presbyterian church when I was younger. I went with them a few times. In fact, that was where my mom was married, Chalmers Presbyterian. To my dad, that's where they got married, the church. So, uh, um, well, I think, yeah, although a lot of Roman stuff influenced us, our philosophers and all that have been were more Greek, so that's probably why we went with more of the Greek stuff. And the Greeks are had their gods originally. As far as I know, the Romans just sort of copied the Greeks. So, yeah, but the Greeks had them first. Yeah, but what I'm saying is the Greeks had them first. The Romans came, oh, you have all these Greek gods. Let's take them and rename them. that's from what I understand. Metal would probably know a lot more about this than me, and yeah, yeah. Well, I learned early on about them both, and that the Roman ones were basically the same, but for some reason most people uh, hedge towards the Greek ones more for whatever reason. Well, there are differences. There are some minor differences, or maybe some major ones here and there. Again, Metal says that's not how it worked. They are different stories from the same proto stories that evolved separately while they were in two different lands. They did not exchange between both a lot. King Arthur, Morgan Le Fay. No, I'm not sure whether this is related to what you're saying. He says there was also the Etheruthian Tuscany religion that influenced them and each other as well. Uh, no, I don't. Metal probably does. Yeah, I got to. I think I learned a little bit about mythology in school, not much. A lot of it I learned from like growing up from the mighty Hercules. Only the evil fear him. Da, 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 da. And of course, um, Hercules, the TV series with Kevin Sorbo. And then a lot of other programs I watched had the Greek gods. Of course, um, DC had more of the Greek gods in. Not a lot of them, but Metal says, "Oh, Metal's trying to tell me how to say the one word, Etruscan." It might be just for easier for Metal to come on at this point. Sounds vaguely familiar, but oh, okay. So Cyclops. Oh, oh, they can't hear you guys. Metal says, but I'm happy here in the chat where I can only hear Rick. Okay. Yeah. Well, guess what? Neither did I.
You could still spoke up sooner and then say that nobody, no, to tell Rick that no one else can hear us.
Well, now they can hear you.
Oh man, I didn't get to hear my my Irish accent. Didn't get to hear me.
I said, but this ain't. No one knows about the twin Donnan. So, as it seems weird. No one knows about that or the Fomorians or any of that stuff. Well, they have Fomorians in Dungeons and Dragons. I was reinterpreted through D&D lore.
Metal says, no, don't ruin it. Metal, you ruined it by saying something. Raul was like, we hear you now. So obviously earlier Metal was responding to what I was saying, not to anything Fitz was saying.
Oh man.
But is it? I'm not sure if anyone on this panel on this chat can name any of the twin or Donnan guys. Like, can't somebody try to name as many of them as we know?
The
I don't know
Anantonin?
any.
Did you say Anantonin or?
It's twin or Donnan.
I don't even know what that is.
Like I said, the Celtic pantheon. I was kept saying that.
Oh, the Celtic Pantheon? No.
Yes.
No, I have no idea what they're. The thing, unfortunately, I think of when I think of the Celtic pantheons, I think of oh, what's the name of it? The Norse, but I'm positive. I'm pretty sure the Norse are not the Norse gods are not the Celtic ones.
Yeah, those were considering the Vikings and the Celtics were enemies. I don't. Yeah, you can get it mixed up considering they hate each other.
I know I've probably heard of a few of them, but I can't remember them offhand. Gargoyles brought them in a little bit, of course. More Egyptian gods is what Stargate brought in, and of course they brought in Norse ones too, but not really a lot of them.
And reason why Stargate brought them in because there's reinterpreting ancient Egypt through ancient aliens ideology worldview.
Yeah,
Because there's a conspiracy theory that the pyramids are built by aliens because they weren't white and they somehow managed to make pyramids, build structures, and they weren't white. If you don't watch the show Ancient Aliens, pretty much every structure that wasn't built by white people was had to be built by aliens somehow.
Metal says most of them are the Asis Sedai, people of the Sidi.
Yeah, the people of the city. I'm confused.
Well, I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's Sidate.
Sida.
No, Sidhe. No O or what?
He.
And
Oh, Sidhe. Oh, Sidhe. The
Metal
Sid
said,
Sid.
go ahead.
Oh, Sidhe. That's how it's pronounced.
Uh, the medal says the patron god of Ireland for the longest time was Luigi or Lugo. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Who was a trickster storm god,
Oh,
and that's Lugh.
Loogie.
Yeah, that's how I pronounced it too. And Mantle says Sidat is just pronounced she or
Oh,
she, Shee.
she.
Like Billy Tucci.
Oh, she. Okay. I mean, so much stuff comes from Celtic mythology that we still use in modern fantasy, but people just don't know it comes from Celtic mythology.
Yeah, probably. And Metal says Lugi is said Lu,
Oh, Lou.
Lu. So there's some sort of accent over the U, but the GH, I guess, is silent.
Well, I've got to go. It's almost midnight, and I have to practice Spanish before
Okay.
Duolingo gets mad at me.
Okay. Anything you want to promote before you leave?
Um, Love and Peace?
Oven peas. What are oven
No, Love
peas?
and Peace. Love and Peace.
Love and pieces. You want love and
No, just
peace?
One Piece.
You want to promote One Piece? One Piece of what?
Love and Peace. Love
Love and
and Peace.
peas. Love and peas.
Come on, you're holding me up. I gotta
Oy,
practice
dear
Spanish.
Gwit, dear Gwit. I have to come in here and explain my people's heritage to you.
You're talking to Cacolin.
Caholen? Oh, I love Caholen.
Yeah,
But
you're talking to the Hound of Oster.
Caholen's hound.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
played him in. I voiced him in Might.
Oh, did you? Nice, nice.
Yeah.
He's basically like the equivalent to Heracles in Irish myth. There are actually more stories about Caholen than any other mythological character.
Actually, when I
Shame
was
we
in
never used Colin.
the
Yeah.
booth, I was like, "How do you say this name?" And they were like, let's look it up. We've got the internet."
Yeah. In proper Old Irish, it's Caholen.
Oh, Colin. Okay, yeah.
Colin.
You can say
Yeah.
Caholen, it's fine, because the second part comes from the guy whose dog he killed, whose name was just Colin. But the
Hound
proper
of
pronunciation
Ulster.
is Caholen.
Ooh, yeah,
Colin.
people were
Uh,
mad at. I think people on the internet were mad at me because I used a
but but uh,
Scottish
but
accent.
but I plan to have a villain who is the son of Baelor. So
Oh, nice.
is Baelor
Yeah,
the
Lou,
correct pronunciation of
Balor?
Balor? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
You know, he was killed by Lou.
Balut.
wait, was Baelor himself killed by Colin in the myth?
No, Baloo.
By Lou.
Oh, by
Lou.
Lou. By Lou.
Yeah. With his own spear.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't plan to use Balor. I just plan to use his son as OC character as a villain. So
The other most important deity in Irish folklore, which goes far enough back that it would be shared by any of the like Gaelic people, so the Scottish and any of the people on the smaller islands about west of there would be the Morrigan, who is a woman in 3 different phases of her life. So there's actually 3 forms of the Morrigan, kind of a trinity of herself that represents early life, middle life, and death, which also represents like the spring, middle of the year, and winter. She's the cyclical nature of the world. Also, the nature of, I guess, women too, because they have more determined phases than men do. So it's kind of like of like a maiden, a mother, and then like the grandmother phase after she can no longer reproduce herself, which represented a woman's like 3 different positions in society at different times of her life. Very, very important goddess. The goddess of death as well. She would have ravens that go around the battlefield and collect spirits, including Cuchulainn at the end of his life when he was chained to a stone. Some people say it was like a slab or whatever, but it's not really clear what it was. But he was chained to a stone and left on a battlefield to die after a great victory. And it was the Morrigan's ravens who came and gave him mercy.
Well, why don't you think? Why don't you think it? Why don't you think there's a movie about? Why don't you think somebody? Know why nobody has made a movie about Colin?
I don't know. Honestly, if I were to take a guess, I would gather it is because the Irish became too Catholic, so they're more proud of their more modern Christian culture than they are of their older Irish culture. There is a renaissance on it, though, where there's a bunch of people like myself who are just very interested in the patron deities of their heritage, like to read a lot about it. Luckily, the Irish are super anal, so there's plenty of information that you can read. They never threw it out. So you might find somebody who wants to, but it's just not like as big of a draw.
Okay.
Most Irish people would rather just make like Passion of the Christ or something, you know?
No. Okay. I understand it. Uh. Yeah. But I don't. I don't plan on using Cajon. I just want to have the Son of Balor as a basic villain, but for Gold Knight specifically. Because the time for the main threat at first supposed to be the Fomorians a bunch of frozen Fomorians get released because of a curse being broken.
Okay.
Are there other names Fomorians?
Oh, I think there are. That's the common one. I have to think about that.
Well, I know Alpha was wanting to get going,
Mm-hmm.
and he was wanting to promote love and peace.
Yeah. Well, I did one lesson just now, so I'm okay. I won't get reset. I kept my 1,000 and something day streak going. So.
Okay.
Oh, it just turned midnight. I got to do another lesson.
Oh.
But you got 24 hours to do that, don't you?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I guess the only other name that I could think of possibly would just be Fur, as like a shortened name that they would often say. So they're either the Fur or they're the Fomori.
Hey, how was your St. Patty's Day?
Mine was great.
See, you had a great one.
I made my taters.
I just
The
wore a
important
shirt.
thing.
It's
Oh,
it's funny. One of the biggest parts of Irish, one
Comes
of the
from
biggest parts
Peru,
of
I
Irish
know.
culture came from the Americas. So
Yep, specifically from Peru. But the potatoes have become such a big part of everyone's culture, and we can all blame a single spot in the Andes. They're
Okay.
just too good at growing. We could put them everywhere.
Spuds. spuds are not duds. They can grow everywhere.
But yeah, I've got this tie-dye shamrock shirt that I've had for years that I wear actually pretty often in general. But when it comes through the wash, I make sure near St. Patrick's Day that I save it for the day.
I've got a Deadpool shirt I'm wearing that I got
Mm.
back in 2012. It says St. Wade's Day. Drink up.
Yeah, I came from a very, very American Irish household. Like we were really into it, um, as you should, if you are. And my dad had like our coat of arms. We'd have shamrocks like everywhere. You know, like you walk in there and you know it's an Irish household.
Yeah, but of course I don't care about my heritage. Obviously,
What? What?
I'm a registered member of Clan Micra.
Clan Micra.
Of the Clan Macra.
now like why? Like why would I care about my heritage?
They're the reason you're here.
I mean, you should only care if you're close to it, you know? Like, I care about it because I was always close to it, so that's the culture I was in. But if your heritage isn't your culture, maybe it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know what tribe my ancestors came from.
Most
it's hard
people
to know.
don't, especially
Mhm.
since you're American. It's kind of default. You know, you say you were foundational Black American, so this
No,
pretty much
no, no, no,
erases
no,
all
no.
that.
Well, my ancestors were slaves, so
Well, yeah, like I said, you know, if
mhm.
you're foundational, you don't really know because you're mixed.
No, yeah, because I mean, what tribes were my ancestors were originally captured from, or whatever. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. You can't know because it's been so many years. I mean, generations.
Centuries.
It doesn't matter.
Mm.
There's no record.
Mm. Yeah, because the plantations not keep any records at all. Like, so why?
Yeah, they did receipts. What's
Yeah,
bad
but
blood
like a
for
lot of
DNA
those
and stuff.
receipts also broke down overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not. Unfortunately, it's not probably like the blacks selling them back over from Africa or wherever they got them from, especially Africa, was going to say, "Whoa, we grabbed them from this tribe."
But also, most
Exactly.
people don't know most of their heritage. Like, if you're in an ethnically homogenous place, you can kind of guess what your heritage is going back generations because nobody's moved. But there's been so much movement between people that the furthest anybody can really go back is maybe a single line for a long time. Like, even my heritage, I can only really go back on most of my family. Um, 5 or 6 generations, and then specifically on the McGrath/McCraw line, that I can go all the way back to like technically 1000 AD, a little bit before that because we know it goes directly to Craw, but and then you can trace his heritage. But the problem is at that point too, a lot of the records start to become more mythical than factual, so you're still just kind of guessing, and that's only a single lineage, and you're way more than a single lineage.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying you can't determine a tribe because when it comes to America, if you're black, they just throw you in a, you know, you just pile together anyway. So it's like, it's all of the Ivory Coast basically. So don't worry about that. I'm just an American. I'm just happy that, you know, I take kind of a little bit of pride that my family's been in my city for about 4 generations now.
But I don't
So
take pride in
everybody
any
knows
country.
my family, you know? Well, it's not
Yeah, so
country. I'm talking about like city, you know?
mm,
It's like everybody knows my
yeah,
dad and knew my granddad. People know me.
mm,
Yeah, and that's
yeah.
because you have personal stake. You should have pride in anything that you've personally invested in and has personally invested in you, right? Like it's a
Mhm.
relationship you have with that type of thing.
Yep.
Mm, yeah. Like again, like I'm planning to leave this country at a certain point. The fact once I get my finances straight. So
What? America's the place to get your financial straight. That's why everybody wants to get here.
Now, once I have a consistent revenue stream, I'm probably just gonna leave, just go somewhere else.
Well, I
Bro,
understand. You could be a passport bro too. Have a job in
Yeah,
America online, and then like just live in another country that's lower pay. You know?
exactly, and just stay there, and
Yeah,
just build it.
I think
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
not like
thinking.
the
Who's
states
that
care
comic guy?
because you still have to pay
Thinking
U.S.
Critical, I think.
taxes.
Who's that comic dude who does the reviews? Is
Wait,
it Thinking Critical?
what do you say, Metal?
I was saying like the U.S. doesn't care either because as long as your business is being operated here, like with U.S. funds, you're still paying
Mm.
U.S. taxes, so they don't care. As long as they get their taxes, that's all they care about.
But I think Thinking Critical lives in Thailand.
I
But
don't know
he,
Thinking Critical.
I think he does reviews.
Yeah, I think he lives in the Philippines.
Oh yeah, he lives in the Philippines, so he
No, I know
has the
people in the
benefits
Philippines.
of living in the Philippines, but he's doing a American YouTube channel, so he gets American money.
let's see.
Mhm.
Raul says, Rick, shield on my wall. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean. Glad I fly to Ecuador to see my background. Rick, you need an Ecuadorian shield. Yes, eventually I will do an Ecuadorian shield. Would it be an Ecuadorian shield metal?
Yeah, I think so. No, I believe people from Ecuador are referred to as Ecuadorians, and I'm also sure that since Raul wrote that, he would know.
Mm. Hmm.
No, maybe tomorrow night after I do Black Spider, I think it is. Maybe I can make up a look for the Ecuadorian shield.
Hey, Black Spider, the Batman villain.
No, he was a hero that was reading. Me and Mike were reading on Sunday.
Ah,
With,
oh
He's more
yeah,
like a
it's like
Batman hero.
from Ace Comics, I think it is.
No, it says I forgot. This different Black Spider. It's the other Black Spiders.
Yeah,
It was the one that threatened people with literal spiders.
yeah. And I just figured, since I had just read with Mike, I might do one or two of the characters. I might do what was this, Flash Lightning or Lightning Flash or something like that.
Lightning lads.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
what? Oh,
This is a character from Ace Comics back in the 40s.
mm.
And I
There
think it
was,
was
I think he was both Flash Lightning and Lash Lightning, which I think Mike even
said about,
mentioned.
yeah.
Yeah. And because of distinguishing him from the Flash, it might be easier to find images by typing in Lash Lightning.
Yeah.
I once thought about trying to bring back one of the Golden Age characters, specifically Captain Battle, but I just I just threw that idea in the toilet at some point.
Yeah, a few people I think
Uh,
have tried to do it. You could do it. You could throw him in there no matter what if you wanted in your universe. He's public domain.
I know it's public domain, but I thought about trying to bring that back. I'm like, no,
I
like
think RJ's
I don't
bringing
really.
back the clock, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why, no, the reason why because I don't want to really connect my stuff to World War II.
Ah.
Technically, don't have to. You can always localize them to the modern day. Find a more recent word to put them in,
Yeah.
or make up a word. You can just make up a word.
Or you don't even have to have him as a warrior. You just make him as a modern day, vigilante hero that's.
No, Captain Battle
think-
kind of has to be be a
Yeah,
wartime
he
hero
does.
of some sort.
I think more people should just make up wars for their stories that they don't have to worry about it aging. You know that the war can just exist.
No. It's
fictionally.
not. It's not the. It's not the age problem. I just don't want the World War II connection at all. Specifically
No,
that
no, that's
war.
what I don't mean like the character aging. I mean like dating your story, right?
Mm,
Because eventually, if you attach it to any real life war, that's going to hold a
mm,
story back forever. Well, if you connect it to a fictional war, well, that fictional war can always just be moved in time and updated
mm.
over time too.
Hmm.
I know. Like most of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare wars are fictional. Every war from Modern
Yeah.
Warfare onward. Like
It's kind of like
that's
Iron
kind
Man
of
in the
dumb.
movie. He was
Yeah.
going against the Ten Rings instead of being in Vietnam.
But even in the Ten Rings in the MCU are nothing like the comics Ten Rings at all.
Oh, not at all.
I know. I'm just saying that the
Iron Man
war,
doesn't even get the chance to fight Mandarin properly in his own film because I don't know why.
China. I don't know.
But
It's China.
how is that racist? They could easily just have him look like a Fu Manchu. They could have easily just did what the Iron Man armor versus cartoon did, and made him look younger.
Yeah.
Well,
They
it's
just
not
finished it.
about
It's not
whether it
racist.
makes sense
It's
or not.
nationalist.
It doesn't matter whether it makes sense or not. It matters what the people on the board think will be bad, which they're often wrong about things, but they're the people in charge.
Yeah, because like how is a Chinese wizard guy offensive to to China itself, especially when it doesn't work for the Chinese government at all.
It doesn't matter. It's because you made a Chinese villain.
Ain't have him fight a white guy for some reason. But it's okay to have a Chinese guy fight a Chinese villain.
Well, especially because like
Well,
you got to look at it from a geopolitics, right? Like Iron Man basically represents the American military. Like philosophically speaking, he represents the American military. So you have the American military defeating a Chinese villain.
Mm.
I I don't think it would ultimately hurt their box office, but I understand why disconnected boardroom members would think that's really bad optics.
But you could just throw a Chinese some kind of Chinese hero into the mix. That would have been easy, like of some sort. That would have been easy. I don't, yeah, but I still confused by the hell why the hell they did that in Iron Man 3. And so the Mandarin wasn't really even nothing like the Mandarin in the comics at all. Not even close. It was just some white guy with
Well,
heat powers.
also,
Yeah.
unfortunately, people who care about the comics opinions don't matter because the vast majority of the viewing audience don't know the comics like we do.
Yeah.
So they don't
Mm-hmm.
care.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's true. And then
Oh,
there was a scene in Thor, I think it was. Well, not in Thor, but uh on the Thor
well,
DVD,
mhm.
a small scene on the Thor DVD where they go actually have that the real Mandarin is getting back at that guy for pretending to be him, and of course we see
But he never gets to fight Iron Man. Of course, he gets to fight he gets to fight Shang-Chi, who didn't even have superpowers in the comics. Basically just a spy who knew
martial
regular normal
artists.
martial arts. Yeah, he
Here's
has
the
martial
problem.
arts, but he's primarily just a spy. He didn't have superpowers, but the MCU made him just like Dragon Ball Z or something.
One of the
Uh,
reasons I dislike most of the MCU is because of how different it is from the comics, but I'm also the minority, so I don't matter.
Mm.
Most people don't know anything about the comics. Their introduction to the character is the movie that they're watching. Now, this is a bad idea, though, because they've clearly not done a good job of marketing the comics through their movies to get people back interested in them, but they also don't seem to really care about that at all. The comics are a lost leader as an IP farm. The big thing about it is the only thing that you have to make remotely similar to the comics are the super popular things that even people who don't read comics already know. And the Mandarin is
So
not one of those.
so the hero himself has to be close to the comic, at least somewhat close to the comic.
If they're
not
super popular, like every Iron Man was already kind of a known character,
Mm.
so Iron Man has to kind of be close to the comics.
yeah, but
Mm.
say the Guardians of the Galaxy, they weren't known really.
Nobody
So
knows him. Yeah. You could
Exactly.
just make up a whole new Guardian team if you wanted.
Exactly. For example, if you make a Wonder Woman movie, you can have the villain be literally anything, just slap her name onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one
Uh,
that they know most people
but
might know
Wonder
is
Woman has a
Cheetah.
bad rose gallery, so that yeah, but Wonder Woman has a bad rose gallery, so most people wouldn't care. And even comic fans wouldn't care because no one cares about Wonder Woman rose gallery because most of them suck.
Yeah. Her main
So
one
doesn't
is
matter. But
Che-
now I know who Cheetah
Cheetah.
is.
Yeah. But I'm saying Cheetah, Silver Swan, of course, the gods.
Cheetah,
I
Doctor
wouldn't even
Typhoon,
put
everything.
Silver Swan in there. I think
I
Cheetah's the
wouldn't
only
put.
one aside
Mhm.
from the Greek gods that would matter, and it's only because Cheetah was in the Super Friends. That's it. That's like the
Exactly.
only
Yeah.
reason. She was in the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Exactly. She was in Leisure Doom. And no, but the thing is like if you make a movie based on taking any leading Avenger, if you make a Hulk movie, you can have the villain be literally anything, no one would care.
Yeah, I think the only one that maybe a normal person might know, aside from Ross, kind of everybody knows Ross
Hmm.
because of mentions of him in the old show and the cartoon, is technically Leader was in the cartoon, so some people might know, but I don't think people will care as much about that. Uh,
Abomination.
Apparently, Samson was super popular back in the old cartoon. Like a lot of people who don't even read comics know who Samson is. You know, like the doc with the green hair and everything. So I don't think it would be make or break to have him in a movie, but he is something that people would cheer if he did show up in a movie.
He was in the Incredible Hulk movie. He was
Mhm.
Betty's love interest, right?
Mhm.
That was weird
But
casting. They were gonna have to recast him or make him full CG or
Absolutely.
something.
but they never did another Hulk movie because the Universal had to get money from that. So
Yeah, it's selfish like that.
the like it's like but yeah but it's why do they keep changing why keep they not have Doom like he is in the comics and the films I remember that the awful Fantastic Four stick movie and they had Doom as like a mannequin as like a dude gets turned into a mannequin some kind of
When
mannequin looking thing.
was it Fox? I think had him before. Why that is?
I
Why that is
no those
because it,
2000 let me finish. But the 2015 Fantastic Four movie had Doom become just like Weapon X from X-Men Origins Wolverine, which
Oh,
the
I never
I'm
even
not
watched
calling
that
them.
one.
yeah. But what my point was is Fox owned it at the time. The
I know
rights.
already
Yeah. But my point
because Fox
was
is his own company.
yes. Let me finish. I was just clarifying and making sure it was right that it was Fox. But they wanted to
Mm.
tie Doom's origin to the Fantastic Four. And Doom's origin is not tied to the Fantastic Four. And that's what they did with the first movie with the Fantastic Four, and that's what they
2005.
did. That's what they did with the reboot.
Why
You
did
got
why do you guys use Doom for the first movie? That's the thing.
He's their arch nemesis.
yeah,
Yeah, he
That's
shows
why
up
they
like
put
really
Joker in
early
the
too,
'89 Batman.
right?
Wait,
Was
wait,
it like
wait.
issue 4 or 5 of the original run? Like Doom was there really early.
I know, but the first villain the Fantastic Four ever fought was Mole Man.
That
yeah,
would be so
So
fun too.
Yeah, they
I
ruined
think
him.
the problem is they've separated the Fantastic Four from what they originally were. They did have some like superheroic stuff, especially the further you go down. And you can still kind of consider what they're doing superheroics, but uh, Stan and Jack didn't consider them superheroes. They were kind of just like super powered people dealing with like sci-fi threats. So they were almost more on kaiju patrol than anything. Like half of the stuff they fought early on were just like giant monsters attacking New York. So putting
yeah,
them
still
in
they fought
like a
against
big
kaiju. That was their main thing. That was their
monster
main thing.
disaster flick would be the best thing to do. I would love
Yeah, I
to just
know.
see a Fantastic Four monster flick.
That was literally just a kaiju movie, but with Fantastic Four there.
Yeah, like
yeah.
take the plot of the horrible 1998 Godzilla, but then just make the Fantastic Four have to deal with Zilla.
Oh, Galactus was basically that, right? A kaiju.
Yes.
Yeah, more or less. Except the Galactic's arc, it took a while to get there. I think we're like what, almost 50 or 60 issues in before we get to Galactus, but that was more of like a philosophical dilemma than anything, especially because he was kind of beyond their ability to really deal with, so you kind of had to argue him out. And but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's
In the
really fun.
cartoon, they used the ultimate
but-
nullifier idea.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that they, in doing a Fantastic Four movie, you have to separate, because it is separate, Doom's origin from the Fantastic Four, and that's why they suck. They were trying to. Well, that's one of the reasons they were trying to tie his origin in with theirs. In my opinion.
I did like the 2005 Fantastic Four movie because at least it was tonally simple, it was tonally right, and the actors did such a good job, especially Chris Evans as Human Torch and what's his name as Ben Grimm.
Yeah, I liked it. I just didn't like Doom.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I didn't like the casting
Yeah.
of Doom at all.
I don't know. I really like Julian McMahon as an actor, but I could get what you're saying. I don't know if there was anybody who was like really in Hollywood at the time that I think would have made a good Doom.
Mm.
Might have had to like look for a new actor outside of it, like recruit somebody.
But I thought it would be a good idea to make if the MCU ever was smart, if the folks in the MCU was smart, which they're not, they would make a Doom movie. Once they got the rights back, they would make a movie called Doom, and it will be about him rising to power and putting what's left of Latveria back together.
Yeah, I would have
wanted
liked.
his-
I think that was a
it-
plan for Fox, wasn't it? Before they got
Something
bought
like
out.
that. I want them to basically just take the original Doom story and turn that into a movie, right? Like you could do Doom after that, but it's like I like that he gets introduced as a mystery. Like the audience doesn't know who this guy is. He just kind of shows up. He's got like this vague history with Reed, but that's like the only person in the crew that he's got a vague history with. And then he basically just kidnaps the Fantastic Four and tells them like, I need something from the past. So he just drops them back in time, and they have to go on an adventure and deal with pirates to get the thing that he needed from the past. Like the very first Doom story involves time travel.
Yeah, I know, but
That would
what
be a
was
fun
my
movie.
idea? But what was my idea? Well, what's my idea of a movie? A movie is called Doom about him in Latveria trying to put the country back together. What's left the country back together when in his suit of power armor and they built. That's not quite the best yet. And he makes a deal with supernatural, the devil or something, and he has magical powers.
Yeah, I
Like, would that be
really
a-
do think that was a script that was floating around for a while.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a bad idea. I think the problem is, as Alpha was talking about, like there was a script floating around. It's too little of an idea. Like it needs a lot more fleshing out because that could end up being like a really boring movie. It depends on like all of the roadblocks and stuff he has to deal with on the way, right? So
Yeah.
like that's an idea that needs a lot of fleshing out, but it could be really good.
Who you personally choose as a villain for that movie? Well, that's the
It would
thing.
have to be a
He has to have
different-
some other, because he has to be somebody else he has to fight in order to get the resources to build the country.
I would make it the previous
country.
ruler of Latveria, but there's other villains in Marvel that could take that place. That would be kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure who you would get to be the
And
antagonist.
structural antagonist to that story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd have to liberate the country. So you need someone formidable to defeat.
Yeah, to make Doom sympathetic, but can you make Doom sympathetic?
I mean, he's trying to rebuild his country after he got blown to bits. So that'll be the perfect idea for a movie.
I think you almost want Doom to be anti-sympathetic. You know, like you want all of these things around him that should give you reason for him to be sympathetic, but then like Doom's personality just like stops you from wanting to feel sympathy for him.
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean. Like
You know,
you want to make him sympathetic, but like you said, not sympathetic at the same time because of his personality.
Oh, that sort of like that Thanos thing where it's like, oh, I understand what he's trying to accomplish, but it's not the right thing, sort of. Is that what
Yeah,
you mean?
except you can already do that with Doom without having to really change him, and you can't really do that with Thanos. Like, God, I hated the character that they made for Thanos in the movies.
Yeah, it was a dumb
Yeah,
excuse. It's easier in the
no,
comics where it's like, I just want Death to like me.
I know. OG Comics Thanos is basically just evil Ernie on a cosmic level.
Yeah, they just couldn't do anything with the embodiment of death because of Chinese rules around mysticism and specifically skeletons.
Yeah,
So
I would
they
use
didn't want
Hela.
to go with that. They could have. I thought of a
They
route
could.
where they could have done Hela too, and they set up
I know.
perfectly.
I know. They could just have
Because
Hela
right
show
there,
up.
at
Yeah,
the end
but
of Ragnarok.
even in the comics, is not Death isn't a skeleton, is she?
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's just the way
she
people see
varies
her.
in form.
Yeah,
We
so
could
you just
have
use
Hela
one of the,
replace her, but they didn't do
Yep.
that.
or you could just have, if she's not, a skeleton somewhere in the comics, just have that version of her in.
Well, they would still have a problem with the mysticism around death as an entity. While
Yeah.
I think if you took a specific fictionalized version of a god of death, you could get away with it more.
That's why he could just use Hela, but they
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
they, they,
Yeah.
they did the dumbest version. They made dumbest decision ever. But
Yeah, it's not like it's without precedent either, because like recent comics even put Thanos and Hela together.
Yeah,
Probably doing
because
it to
I
make
know he
Jeff
has
jealous.
I know
Yeah.
he's supposed to have a fascination with death and wanting to please her and all that in the comics.
All right, I think I'm overworking this panel. I'm
Probably.
going around in circles. All right.
Yeah.
Well, this one's going to be tough, so I'll just leave that out. Okay, now I'm really going. I added extra 30 minutes. I got two panels done in 2.5 hours.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
Just one panel to do.
Yep. Then you could color it.
Yeah. Although I still got to finish the other page first.
but I don't really care about what the MCU is doing now. But the Ironheart TV show had what essentially should be a Doctor Doom story, but had a hero wrote that.
Yeah. They actually made her worse than she is in the comics.
I know, because she makes a deal
Which
with
is
the
hard.
devil, and
Because
Yeah,
she was like
it's like-
really, really
it's a
bad in the
challenge.
comics.
She took over a country.
in the comics.
I
But
didn't.
see,
I didn't even see that yet.
but in the Ironheart TV show, they have make a deal with the devil, and become a thief who robs people, and she has
Mhm.
like a satanic power suit of armor.
Mm-hmm. That's not very heroic at all.
And yet
And
they
she was
try to
like,
act like she's a superhero still.
Maybe we should remove Heart from her name and put something else there, you know?
yeah.
I mean, Ironheart is accurate. She's like evil person, so
Yeah, like a,
Well,
a
no,
heart
no,
of
we-
steel.
Well, I think we should remove the. I think we should remove the iron and replace it Stoneheart.
Cold Heart.
Actually, that's a
you
cool
know?
name. That could be a cool character.
Cool.
The Heart of Stone.
It's weird because modern writers are like, well, she's a good guy, so whatever she does is good. And the people watching, they'll understand that. And it's like, not really. If you're doing evil stuff, you're not good because you're supposed
But
to.
in TV show, she's really just a villain, but we're gonna pretend she's a superhero. I don't
Yeah.
get that. I
Yeah,
don't get
well,
Google Mark as
it's tribal thinking, and a lot of these writers have tribal thinking where it's like, what is defined as being good is being in the right team.
Mhm. All right. Yeah, I'm picking this apart. Well, good night, gentlemen. It was a pleasure spending time philosophizing with you or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good night, Alpha.
Schlongafol.
Okay. Alpha, anything you want to promote?
I got to change my promotion this time. Promote Drawn and quartered. No, wait. Ooh, silhouette game. Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central.
Yes, and
Be
this
there.
week it's going to be hero teams.
Hero team.
Mhm.
That's
I
gonna be
don't know how
rough.
he's gonna do that. He's gonna have multiple silhouettes.
Or a big blob silhouette.
Oh man, that's tough.
I mean, there's a few iconic shots of some teams, especially the ones that you find in like posters and encyclopedias that you might be able to pick out, but some of them are just going to be rough.
Yeah, you might have to make them yourself.
Well,
Make multiple characters and just.
it worked pretty well the last two times with the villain teams and silhouette the just teams from the first season. So
I'll be there.
okay,
Adios.
adios, amigos.
But
And
I know I put in undead. I put in undead for next week.
yeah, and I've actually started getting that, so that should be ready in time too. So
Uh, I can't believe he hadn't done kaiju. Like well, I thought that would be obvious one. That'd be obvious one considering how many kaiju there are.
yeah, well, again, it's something that you on you can put in the comments on Thursday, afterwards, about kaiju.
Could you extend kaiju to all like giant monsters of the relative size, since the word literally just means like
Yes.
strange monster or strange creature?
Yes, all giant monsters. Not even just Japanese ones.
Yeah. Guess that would include Power Ranger ones too.
Yeah, well, actually, even
kaiju
before
every
they
episode.
grow, they call them kaiju even when they're small because the term applies. But yes, when they grow giant, they are in world in Super Sentai referred to as kaiju.
Yeah, but they literally fight one every episode in Power Rangers, so it's kind of almost infinite.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the entire like theme of Super Sentai is man versus kaiju. This is like the human response to often aliens, sometimes not. They could be natural from the earth or whatever. Some villain sicking kaiju out to destroy humanity or get something that they want.
Now, do you always use usually some it's all some alien some alien warlord.
Oh, it depends. Very often,
Nah.
but like Dino
Like,
Thunder had a scientist from Earth that was messing around with like dinosaur DNA and ended up like affecting himself. He was kind of like almost like a high evolutionary in a way. Like there's been several different villains.
Oh, the lizard, basically.
One is time travel, where like it was literally somebody from the future in Time Force that came back and they had to try to stop it.
Yeah, mutant on Earth, as they called it.
Yeah. But there's a lot of alien too. That's probably
Yeah.
that probably might be the majority. I haven't gone through all of them since Dino Zero Ranger is kind of like the 7th series, even though that Mighty Morphin's the first one here.
Is there any artist here who really likes Sentai shows?
I mean, I really like Sentai. I watch them.
Oh, because I
almost
have
religiously growing up, and I still go back and watch some new ones here and there.
Because I want to commission an artist to draw Lightwave because he's supposed to be designed similar to that type of character, one of my heroes in this Cape Fate universe.
If you really wanted to go one, if only Dillard was available.
Oh,
Yeah, he can't afford Dillard yet.
Yeah, you save up for a long time to get like a really, really good piece, like just a little money on the side.
No, but I can't afford him. That's outside my budget range right now. Because one of my heroes is supposed to be designed like a Sentai character. She's lightweight. She can make energy constructs and has super speed.
Well, somebody you might want to think about that you could probably work with is Raul. He's got some pretty good rates.
Okay, I'm not sure how much he likes that Sentai.
I'm not sure how much.
like manga and Japanese stuff in general, so he could probably adapt to it.
Yeah, but it's not because the character's costume is supposed to look like that, but it's not the whole project.
Yeah, but he could, you could commission him to do the drawing for you, the initial drawing, you know, to get that way you have a good version of it, you know. I'm sure if you got a concept of the the costume, and then tell them the build or whatever, and talk to him about the how much you want, for something like that. You'd be willing to do something. I can't say for sure, but you can always ask. Worst thing he says is no.
I have a team of like Sentai characters I eventually want to do a story for. I'm just too backlogged on everything to do it right now.
Yeah, I'd like to create something like Power Rangers too.
I just want to have a character who looks kind of like that because I want to have each hero to have their own aesthetic.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
That's separate.
Yeah. Kind of like it's a show that did that was Dexter's Lab with the Justice Friends. When you brought them all the people from everywhere else, they all had like completely different aesthetics from each other to kind of match where they were from.
That actually makes sense if you think about it. Like, was the Japanese guy a Sentai guy and the American guy was like a cape?
Well, there were three like main American superheroes in that one, right? You had like Major Glory, the Infraggable Kronk, and
Van Halen, I think it was.
Yeah, it was Van Halla, right? So it was like a mix between Eddie Van Halen and Valhalla.
Yeah, between him and Thor.
So he was like supposed to be Nordic, but yeah, like Thor, but he was like an American take on that, like very rock and roll. He had a mighty golden axe, which wasn't even gold, even though he called it his mighty golden axe. It was like red or like almost like magenta, but it was his powerful axe that he got all his powers from. And if you took it away from him, he'd basically like shrivel up and turn into like a weak nerd. Kind of like make fun of like the Dr. Blake form from the older like Thor comics.
Yeah, well, I know. But I never saw that show. No, that really. I have seen that show, by the way. I think a long time ago. I know that I really care. But well, I think I have.
I mean, I understand your point of view though, because like I'll have a different aesthetic for every single story I work on. So like I think it should just match like whatever the story and the character is. And obviously you need a style match when you bring characters together, but you shouldn't sacrifice their aesthetic over that.
Now, what all heroes supposed to exist in different comics, and then they my KG team up. So that's the thing. But they're all in different cities in different parts of the country. So like, why aesthetically, why should they even match up to begin with?
Yeah, I'm trying to get different ratings. Although I'm now writing all my comics, I'm trying to give them each a different writing style. So I guess a different aesthetic in that way. And I know it probably doesn't seem that way yet. Metal.
I mean, if it bleeds into the way it looks, then that could involve it. But
anyways, it's almost 2 here. So
yeah, it's really late for you, Rick. What are you still doing up?
I don't got work in the morning, so just.
Goodbye, Rick and Metal.
Anything you want to promote before you leave, Fitzchosa?
Nothing as usual. Nothing as usual.
Okay.
There's not willing to promote on this account until around summer. So.
Okay. I'll still keep asking
Goodbye.
in case you think it's something. Alpha says advocate, maybe. Metal, anything you want to promote?
Yeah, I need to get the link. I'm looking for it. Okay.
Okay,
It's,
okay.
trying to get the X Dynamis Chaos YouTube channel link. That's what I want to promote specifically. It's just taking me a second to get there. Here we go. There we go. I found it. Because the few videos and stuff I have on there are criminally underviewed. So you can go and you can watch dubs of some of my comics. I always recommend people watch the dub for X Dynamis Chaos Chapter 1 Professional Freelancers because it's actually dubbed by the people the characters were inspired by. So you kind of get like this really authentic experience there. But there's a couple other things on there too.
Okay, that's cool, Amando. Yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna be back later tonight or tomorrow, depending on thing, and I'm gonna be doing up some public domain characters. Maybe I'll finish coloring up Patty from Eckstein Miss Chaos, since I didn't quite get her
Yeah.
finished colored last week, but I'd like to get a drawing done in as well, and maybe colored. Going for the Black Spider, which I read with Mike this past Sunday over on the mic stand, which it wasn't too bad of a story. I forget where I put that one in the three that we read offhand. I think that was my least favorite one. Or was it the middle one? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, thanks everybody for coming on that came on the panel, and thanks for everybody for watching. We'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful